Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have some really good news. Donald Trump was served with two new January 6th lawsuits filed by three different police officers. The lawsuits allege that Trump directed and aided and abetted the Capitol attack and that he violated DC laws prohibiting the incitement of riots. And they use direct quotes from some of Trump's Capitol terrorists to show that his actions and lies leading up to January 6th, on that day and leading up to it, were responsible for their injuries. So here's the deal. One of the lawsuits was brought by Capitol Police Officer Marcus Moore. He states in the lawsuit that he was left temporarily deaf. This was during the Capitol attack when Trump's Capitol terrorists deployed flashbangs. So it wasn't just the police deploying the flashbangs. The rioters, the insurrectionists, the terrorists actually brought them themselves. The suit also notes that he was crushed. He got crushed up against a wall when he was posted outside of the House chamber doors. He was trying to protect them. And it states, quote, insurrectionists threw fire extinguishers, poles, and other objects and struck the officers with their fists. Moore did regain his hearing, but he was left with tinnitus, which is possibly permanent. And if you guys don't know what that is, it causes a constant ringing in your ears. And it may not sound like a big deal, but I know people who have tinnitus, and it seriously can drive people to the brink of insanity. I know people who are in a Facebook group for people with tinnitus, and they were saying they had to leave the group because people were literally talking about taking their own lives. That's how disturbed they are by it, how much it's driving them crazy. So I wasn't surprised to hear also that Moore is saying that he's suffering from depression since the Capitol attack. The second lawsuit, which was filed by Metropolitan Police Officers Bobby Tabron and I hope I pronounced this name right, Divine Carter, I believe is how you say it. These are two officers who say that they also suffered injuries and they were left with permanent health issues as a result of January 6th. So Tabron's wrist was broken during the Capitol attack. He was also repeatedly hit in the head with flagpoles and bats, which resulted in a concussion that has left him with a slightly slurred speech. He's also been left with slow thinking. And he also says that he has insomnia since the attack. And on the day of the attack, he said that he engaged in hand-to-hand combat with Trump's terrorists. That's my word, not his. And that they, quote, called him a N-word. They actually used the word in the lawsuit and shouted at him that he'd be nothing without his badge. In regard to Carter, the other man who filed the suit, it says that he was repeatedly struck with poles. And it said, quote, for what felt like hours and crushed from every direction. In addition, Carter was hit with bear spray, which caused him to vomit, quote, more times than he could count. And Tabron was also doused with chemicals, which they believed to be bear spray. And the lawsuit notes, quote, the chemical smell soaked into his skin was so potent, even his wife's eyes burned. So when he got home that night, his body and his clothing smelled so bad of these chemicals that his wife's eyes were burning. So as with other numerous civil suits brought against Trump and his alleged co-conspirators, the lawsuits note violations of the Ku Klux Klan Act, which was essentially set up to prevent and prohibit the use of violence and intimidation in regard to political matters and elections. So that's one of the things that they're using in all of these lawsuits across the board. And there's, to my knowledge, I think it's more than half a dozen at this point that have been filed. So Trump just keeps getting hit from every direction. Let's see if something sticks. But I'll keep you guys posted on all of this. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.